Connecting with your congregation in worship. I want to just talk about from leading to connecting with your congregation in worship. So, we as worship leaders, we are being called from just leading people, but connecting with them as well in worship. I remember when I first started leading worship, I thought if I worshiped hard enough and expressive enough, people will follow my lead. I took leading worship literally. I will copy what the original singer of the worship song did. Add libs and think, if I just lead the way they do in this particular song, the congregation will meet with Jesus. Try as I might, the congregation didn't engage the way they did on those live albums I watched. And I didn't know what I was doing wrong. After 21 years of leading worship, by the grace of God, I've led for 21 years. I remember since 2001, thereabout. I've learned some really practical and basic things that have helped me go into any environment. And of course, by God's grace, I've been into how many continents? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 continents. And this has helped me to be able to connect with the congregation in worship. So the first thing that changed my language, that change was my language from leading to connecting. So if you're here and you're listening, I pray that will change from just leading people to connecting with them. And after connecting with them, you connect them with Jesus Christ. That was the first lesson I learned. We go into an environment, any environment, posture is the key. Posture is the key. Your standing posture, however, that is somewhat important. Talking about a spiritual posture, I was trying to force a leadership onto people without really understanding what my place was. As a worship leader, I am just a facilitator of worship. I was giving myself way too much credit and trying to copy everyone else who had led a successful song or ministry. When it came down to it, I hadn't done the time to find my style and personal worship time with Jesus. It's very important. I will talk more about this, about personal worship. What made these other worship leaders that I looked up to so trustworthy was the fact that they were just worshiping their Jesus in their own way and bringing a congregation along the journey. Whether the congregation engaged or not, they were going to worship the Lord. That's very important. Whether the congregation was involved or not, these people were going to worship the Lord. Now, I'm not saying that we should close our eyes to the ones we are leading and have a personal praise party where we become entertainers and people are amazed with our skills and talents. We have a responsibility to lead, but we cannot be so focused on trying to do everything everyone else does that we forget actually we need to meet with Jesus in our corporate worship services as well. And this begins with you as an individual. There is no way you can lie to yourself. You haven't met with Jesus and you want to lead people to Jesus. I've never heard about that. People met Jesus. They met with Jesus and they were able to lead others to the Jesus they met. And that's how worship should be. Worship leading, worship connection. So true authenticity is what connects people together and what connects us all to Christ. When we realize we can come to the feet of Jesus with all our baggage, brokenness, and human, and meet us there with open arms. We find ourselves fall at his feet. When we lead our congregations, we need to remember that posture as we praise God. We need to remember that posture as we praise God. Falling on my knees in worship. Giving all I am. That's what we do. It is only then that the presence of God is fully accessible through us. Otherwise, we become more of a distraction than a conduit of His presence. Well, I know probably you're thinking that that's all well and good, but Solomon, I need some practical applications here. And I'm glad you thought that I'm about to get to those practical basic key I've found along the years. I just need to press how important posture of worship is. It doesn't have to be awkward or highly passive. It just has to be you. Be who God has called you to be. Otherwise, you will have had several people to be Matt Redman, to be Don Moen, to be Andy Park, to be whoever your favorite worship leader is. But He chose you to be who you are so that He can express Himself. He's a God of variety. And He placed you there with all the attributes and the characters and the personalities to bring praise and glory back to Him as you meet with Jesus the way you will do private and take the congregation on the journey with you. You can only take people where you've already been yourself. So, some practical application for you just to know here. Number one, prepare. That will always be there. You have to prepare. Make sure you have set aside time to prepare your worship set. Pray, sing, learn your part. See how I put it? Most people is like, learn your part, sing, then pray. It should be pray for you to have those set patterns. Then sing as you learn your part. Learn the rest of the parts loosely so you know where the band is supposed to go. And I'm talking about also musicians. Learn your part, how you're supposed to play drums, keys, guitar. Listen for places in the set where other people on your team can worship God in their element and encourage them to do so. A place of guitar, a place of drums, a place of keys. Learn all the vocal parts so you can confidently lead your team. If your rehearsal is a mess, your service will too. Learn the words so you don't have to rely on the screen at the back or the paper on the floor. Know where you want to go and leave room for things to change. Like, I want to take these guys from this song to the other, but leave room. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. Be confident in the song during the service. That way, when you get up to lead the team in rehearsal, you can lead them clearly and efficiently. And therefore roll a smooth rehearsal into a clear and effective service. The more prepared you are and the more times you have run through the songs the week prior to the service, the more you can authentically worship Jesus in your worship service and take people in the journey to meet the Jesus that you've been preparing for a week. So it's important. Preparation. Have a personal worship time. Whether you play an instrument or no. You can sing in your bathroom, you can sing while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, and you begin to worship the Lord with the same song. Or you can play them if you are able to and worship God. Don't wait until the day that you're supposed to be down and leading. So, prepare. Number two, know your demographic. Be aware of the people who come to your church. Be aware of the people who live in the neighborhood around your church. Be aware of the people who live in your city. What is the key demographic there? What kind of music do they listen to? What is their age group? And what kind of work do most of them do? Are you in a city, in a rural town? in the suburbs or a rougher area. Researching these things will do wonders for song selection. Knowing who you are as a leader is important, and knowing who you are as a team is just as important. So if you live in a rural town with 4 radio stations that are all country, your weekend sadly should probably not be 4 gospel songs. Congregation may love to hear them, but there is a difference between a worship concert and a worship experience. Just get to know there's a difference between worship experience and a worship concert. Number 3, keep your eyes open and use verbal cues. So this may seem like a no-brainer, but to some, this is the hardest thing to do when leading worship. And I've got to be honest, it can be really awkward when you first start. But once you get in a rhythm, you won't even remember why you didn't do the first place. Make eye contact with people, not in a weird stare at them down kind of a way, but just like glance at people, let them know, I've got you, come with me. It's safe where we're going. Doing this is not just on the worship leader, mind you. It's something the whole worship team should do. This makes a huge difference to the person who's there for the first time, or the person who is going through a tragedy. Knowing that you see them is everything to those people. Then we use our verbal cues. They don't have to be all the time, and they don't have to be perfect, but they are very necessary. Well, for me as an individual, I've found the best way to find is in using verbal cues is to practice them. When you're in rehearsal, say, come on, sing with me this. Everybody, you sing, amen. Just as you would during the live worship experience. This will make those moments natural and just part of the set. And I promise you, when someone is there for the first time or resisting worship and you smile for it, the verse of a new song and say, sing with me. You invite them into worship with the answer to all their problems. You take them with you. Number 4, pattern. Learning the part of the church in which you lead is crucial to connecting with your congregation. You have to gain their trust. They need to know you are safe. They need to know you are for them. They need to know they can follow where you lead, because it is in that trust that you are truly functioning in your calling and growing as a leader. This is what sets you apart from a concert and places you into a community of worship. This is the key to all keys on leading a congregation of worship. Knowing the vision of the church. Set the space for the pastor to preach the message and create safety and refuge for every single person there. The way they have always done it at the church you are at might not always be the best or most progressive way, but it's the way that they have done it. So we must respect that and honor the process. Honor the pastor. Honor the pattern. It is only when we place on our existing pattern that we can then stretch and grow the pattern. Before we can go to new places, we must be trustworthy. And lastly, knowing your purpose in a collective setting. The place of a worship leader and worship team is to set the stage for the message. This is really important to understand. The place of worship is not to show off your awesome vocal run you've been practicing. The place of worship is to create an atmosphere for God to move and for hearts to be open to receive the word that God has for His church on that particular day. When we really truly understand what our purpose is, we can take a deep breath, step back and remember why we are doing what we are doing and who we are doing it for. It takes the pressure off and we can just worship Jesus with excellence and purpose. It's what we were created to do. So check in your senior pastor if they're doing a particular sermon. Then do songs that complement the series and sermons week to week. Work together. Help each other. Set each other up for a win. This is the greatest thing we can do in a weekend worship experience. Unify. That's the purpose. Unity. Just breathe in and out and unify. Connecting with the congregation in worship is simply about being the best you can be before God and taking others with you. It doesn't matter if you are the worship leader, you're in the band as in one of the instrumentalists, you're the vocalist or the person running the sound, one of the singer. You have an important role to play. Remember, to connect with God in your calling and craft. Then take others in the journey with you corporately. You support one another. Lead by example in honor to the right, to the left, above and under. This will make all the difference in the way people trust you. If there is one thing I've learned, let me just tell you, the platform doesn't help our shortcomings. It amplifies them. So, own it. Go confidently, authentically. Be bold in your worship. Be bold in your mistakes. Your congregation will thank you, and more important, they will love you because of it.